This is Andy Purewal, Boxing Social, in association with Betfred, and I'm joined by Galal Yafai on Zoom. Galal Yafai, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, Matt. How are you?
I'm all good, given the current situation and the circumstances. How are you finding life in lockdown?
Uh, Pretty boring on it, same as everyone else. But yeah, you just gotta make deal with what we dealt with, and yeah, just get on with it.
What have you been up to try to deal with your extra time off?
Just been playing the PlayStation, really. Just yeah, just been chilling, watching telly. Been watching the news more than any other time I've watched it. Yeah, just same old, really. Netflix, PlayStation, few walks here and there, and yeah, just trying to kill a bit of time.
Obviously, I can imagine these last couple of weeks or so for you would not have gone anywhere near how you would have expected them to, because obviously the Olympic qualifiers and that. Let's just go back to that because that's obviously a huge thing when it did happen. You fought, and then the Olympic qualifiers, the rest of them were suspended.
Yeah.
What is your entire knowledge of the situation?
Well, basically, I had to fight once to qualify. It was a Monday. Um, I think it was 16th. I think the competition started on the Saturday. Um, so yeah, 2 days. The Saturday come. Everything was going normal. Boxing started. Everyone was started fighting. Sunday, we got news that there weren't allowed no spectators. Um, yeah, no spectators at the boxing. That was Sunday night. I was just sorting out tickets for some of my family and friends to come. So yeah, I had to tell them they can't come. And then Monday, obviously, I was fighting. Obviously, I'd weighed in, got ready to fight. Was chilling in my room. I was fighting at about 6 o'clock, I think, half six, seven. On my way to the venue, and Ron McCracken just pulled me over and just told me, basically, the competition's getting cancelled after today. You're still going to get a chance to fight and qualify. But after that, the competition's going to be cancelled and we're going to have to revisit the competition wherever you left off. So obviously I won, qualified. I'm through to the quarterfinals now. I would have had to box on the Thursday, again in the quarterfinals, but obviously it got cancelled. So I'll have to revisit that stage whenever it gets rescheduled for.
So, what was your understanding before everything occurred and the rest of the tournament was suspended or postponed, whichever way you want to put it? Obviously,
Yeah.
going into your qualifier, you would have been under the assumption you were going to fight throughout that week. So before
Yeah.
the week began, what did the GB committee tell you about what could have happened, or where the land lied?
Do you mean with the competition
In
could be
general,
getting cancelled?
before yeah, about it possibly being cancelled, did you have any prior knowledge to it being a possibility, or?
Nah, not at all. Like not at all. Like I just thought it was crazy how it was happening. It was like I kind of expected no one allowed to be in to come to the venue, and it was just going to be the boxers strictly and no spectators and stuff. So I kind of expected that, but then literally it was like a big shock when I heard that it was going to get cancelled because we never get fight and then get a competition gets cancelled. Never mind an Olympic qualifier. So it was like it was huge. It was like I fight expecting to fight again a few days later, and then a few days later, and then it was like I've got one fight here to qualify, and then I get to go home tomorrow, and it's like it was a bit worrying. I was a bit worried, but I felt a bit more pressure that I had to win because I couldn't imagine losing and then sitting in my house now for I don't know, God knows however long it could be, 2 3 months, knowing I couldn't qualify and I don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I'm just glad that I did it then.
What was the conversation and the discussions like between yourself and the rest of the Team GB guys? You know, what was you all talking about once you found out about the fact it was going to be suspended?
Well, I was just going over to going to fight at the venue. So he told me first because I was just going off to the venue. So the rest of the lads, I think they had a meeting. Well, the rest of the girls and lads had a meeting when I'd left to go to the venue. So yeah, I understand they had their meeting, and Rob must have told them while I was warming up about to fight. So yeah, they was all going to train, I think, because obviously some were fighting the next day, so they ended up staying to watch me fight and qualify, and then we watched Pete McGraw qualify, and then another lad, Lewis Richardson, fight towards the end of the night.
Obviously, yourself and Fraser Clark, I know Fraser didn't get the chance to box, but you're two of the more senior members of the team. What was it like for the pair of you to find out that the rest of the qualifiers were being suspended, and then also the Olympics have now been pushed back to 2021 at the earliest?
Well, I saw Fraser obviously after my fight. He obviously was gutted, but he was happy at the same time for me qualifying. So yeah, it was a bit bittersweet, but yeah, again about the Olympics being qualified, postponed. We were gutted, to be fair. 'Cause I speak to Fraser quite a lot, and I've been speaking to him every few days, and yeah, we were both gutted because we had plans after to go professional and stuff like that, and it's been put on hold now. So yeah, it's one of them. You just have to just get on with it.
Let's obviously talk about that, because I spoke to Gamal last week, I believe it was, or the week before that, and
Yeah,
he said that he spoke to you on the phone. Yeah, he hasn't had the chance to come and see you because of lockdown. Everybody's self isolating, what have you.
yeah.
And he said that you wasn't sure as to what you wanted to do next, because it's obviously delayed it for another year, and time will be ticking on in your own mind, and you're there thinking, do I need to turn professional now, earlier than what I would have liked to, or should I wait the extra year for the Olympics to come round? What's been your thought process since?
Exactly what you've just said there, and it's still hard to kind of think what to do now because obviously I'm 27 years old. Um, obviously I'm come 28, obviously at the end of the year, so I've not long turned 27, but in this next year now it's going to go, and I'm gonna be standing still in my career, not doing nothing, just waiting for the Olympics to come round so I can go there. Um, so yeah, it is a hard choice, but I haven't made a choice yet. I'm not saying I'm not going to go to Olympics, or I am, but I've got my Olympic place now, so I'm sure I'll be going to Olympic Games next year.
I mean, once boxing or just normal day life does resume, where does it leave you with regards to other tournaments in the build up to the Olympics next year, provided they do take place next year? Will it be the tournaments that would have taken place as normal? Will you have to enter those again for the coming year? Do you have any idea how things may work out?
Not yet because we just don't know when boxing is going to pick back up again. Um, and these tournaments, to be fair, I was itching to turn pro. I was itching to qualify and just go pro. Um, hopefully, I would have done my own Olympic Games this year. Obviously, that no one will know now until next year. But yeah, we're just gonna have to see now. These tournaments, I don't know how long I can do these tournaments for in these other countries, but I'll have to just try and stay motivated as an amateur until next year. Which everyone tells me it's not a long time, but it's 15 months away. It's quite a while away, so yeah, we just have to see what happens.
I guess one thing which, whenever I speak to people about amateur boxers, whether they're 30, 31, 32, or in your case, 27, 28, people want people will say, they're fresh, they're young to the game because there's less rounds and what have you in amateur boxing than what there is
Yeah,
in the professional ranks. However, at the same time, there's a lot more travelling in the amateur ranks than what there is in the professionals.
yeah.
How much of an impact is that having on your decision? Are you looking at thinking, because of the taxing effects that it will have on your body with the extra travelling you'd have to do? How much of a difference do you think that could make in your decision?
The travel is not so much a big deal because I can see now in the next year I probably won't travel a lot. Obviously, the qualifiers are in London, so it's home for us. They'll continue to be in London, and now I'm here maybe end of the year. Hopefully they can happen, and then we're into next year then. So it's just one or two tournaments to stay sharp and get ready for the big Olympic Games. But it's just you know what it is. It's I started boxing quite late, so I feel young, but everyone feels young. But we'd have to see what happens. For me, it's just I just feel like it's the right time to go now. But it would have been after the Olympic Games, but now I'm having to wait a year, so I haven't fully made a decision yet. But I wouldn't want to give my Olympic place up either because I worked hard for 4 years for that. So I wouldn't want to just give it away to the next guy who's there waiting for their chance.
I think I probably know the answer to this anyway, but I am going to ask it. Provided you did decide to stay on for the Olympics next year, obviously in 2022 you've got the Commonwealth Games, which are going to be held in Birmingham, your home city. Would there be any temptation, do you think, in the back of your mind to hang around for another year? I know you want to turn professional, you're saying you feel like after the Olympics it would have been the right time, but would you then look at it and think, should I stay on for the Commonwealth Games in my hometown?
I know what you mean, but the only time you see me going to the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham is if I decide to stay amateur. Other than that, I'll be dying to go pro. I'm dying to go now. So even next year's saying it's a bit of a push. So yeah, 2022. The only time you'll see me at the Commonwealth Games in 2022 is if I just decide I'm not going to give a professional career a go. But that I can't see that happening because I'm itching to go now. So but yeah, it would have been great to box in at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. I've already got a gold medal from the Gold Coast, so it would have been nice to be a two-time Commonwealth champion and to do it in my home city as well, on my doorstep. But it's just that the times don't look good for me being at that age. I'll be hitting 30 then, so it's not very good.
I mean, that's one thing as well. When the time comes, say, if you was to stay on as an amateur, you would be 29 by 28, 29 by the end of it.
Yeah, at the Commonwealths.
At the end of the Olympics.
Olympics 28, yeah, 28.
So for the smaller weights to compete at the highest level, you may disagree with me, but I don't imagine you'd be there for years and years and years.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Have a
definitely.
short time to kind of push yourself through, as we've seen with people in the past.
Yeah.
There's a kind of a time scale you've got in your own mind as to when you need to make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, at low weights, they're normally done by 33. 33, but I think I'm an individual, and I think everyone's different. I feel like me at 27, I'm like I don't like to say it, but I'm like a kid. I'm like a kid. You know, I don't look like a 28-year-old man. You know what I mean? Like I compare myself to someone like Cal. When Cal was 27, 28, he was more of a man than me. I feel like I'm a bit young. Even though I look young, I feel young. But like I said earlier, everyone feels young. And then it could just one day it can all just fall apart. Like we see a lot of pros, they look great. One fight and the next fight they're done. But I hope to just go on as long as possible. I know I'm going to get rushed as a pro because of what I've done as an amateur and my age as well. But I don't mind that because I think I'll be ready when the time comes.
Have you put a time scale on when you need to make that decision about Olympics or going pro?
Well, to be fair, I can't do much now because even if I wanted to go pro now, I can't go nowhere because the pros are in the same position as the amateurs and everyone else in the world. So we'll look to see after this pandemic is over and stuff, and then we'll look from there. But I've been talking to friends and people at GB, and yeah, I've spoke to the top people in GB, and we've spoken. I'm sure I won't just give up my Olympic place like that, but we'll just see what happens.
I mean, again, when kind of, I know it'll be hard at the minute, but before everything unfolded the way that it has over these past few weeks,
Yeah.
When did maybe conversations or talks begin to take place between yourself and potential promoters, managers, a professional trainer instead of your amateur coach, Rob McCracken?
Mm.
When did or when will those conversations begin?
I don't really speak to no one really. The only reason the only people I speak to will be maybe my brothers, people that are quite close to me, friends, people who have done what I've done and have gone pro. Um, and I'll speak to Rob, people at GB, and get their opinion really, and just go from there. People that have been there and done it. I think you need that sometimes, and you need the right advice, and not just what I feel at the moment, where I'm just like, I need to go pro, I need to go pro, because I've always wanted to become a double Olympian since the last Olympics, and I've done that now. Obviously, that's if I go, but I've got my ticket, and I'm sure I'll make the right choice, and I'm sure it will work out for me, God willing.
People will naturally make the assumption that you may end up with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom because both of your brothers are signed with Eddie and Matchroom. Is that the most likely outcome, do you think, for yourself?
Um, Anything can happen, really. I don't really try and look too forward because anything can happen in boxing and in life and in general. Um, but yeah, obviously, a lot of my friends from boxing from GB, I've gone with Matchroom, and my brothers go with Matchroom. Matchroom are, mm, if not the best in Britain. Obviously, you've got Frank Warren as well. You've got some American promoters, obviously, but yeah, you never know. But I do like Matchroom and what the shows they put on and stuff. I've been there for years and watched all their shows and stuff like that. So maybe we'd have to see at the time.